So I'm going to be creating some tables for us to look at. In hindsight, I probably should have just printed off these notes so that you didn't have to create all the tables, but I didn't think about it until it was too late this morning. So freehand them, don't make them perfect, it doesn't matter. It's just so that we can understand how to do this, okay? So our first table that we're going to look at is a woman is keeping track of how many meals she makes for the homeless, okay? So across the top, we're going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And here we're going to have the number of meals that she makes and the cost of the meals. Okay. So I'm going to fill in this table with the data so that you can see it. All right, so on Monday she makes 45 meals and spends $135. Tuesday she makes 60 meals and spends $180. Wednesday is 20 meals for $60. Thursday is 100 meals for $300. And then Friday is 55 meals for $165. And to find out whether or not a table represents a proportional relationship, we just find the unit rate for each set of data. And if the unit rate is the same for the whole table, then we say it's proportional, okay? Does anyone have any ideas about this table? Does it look proportional to you? Yeah? And what makes you think that, Colin?
Just from eyeballing it, I can tell that most of the ratios have like a 1-to-3 ratio.
Yeah, is that what you were gonna say, Jordan? Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's a 1-to-3 ratio. So already you can tell, just you guys have that logic piece already that tells you, hey, I can already see that this is gonna be proportional. But let's actually find those unit rates and make sure. Now, whenever we have a table that's written out horizontally like this, we're gonna call the top the X and the bottom the Y. And when we're finding the unit rate, we wanna always do the Y divided by the X. And there's a really good reason for that, and we'll get to it. But I just want to make sure we start really good habits now by always doing the Y over the X. So I'm going to write it here just so that we can remember Y over X. And in this case, you can see that that would make sense because our money, we want our money on top. And the money is the Y. Okay. Now, if I go through and set up the ratios here, or the unit rate here, we're going to divide 135 by 45, 180 by 60, 60 by 20, 300 by 100, and 165 divided by 55. Okay? Now, if you need to use a calculator, you can. But let's go through and divide all of these. Yeah, Olive?
How do we put the Y over the X for unit rate, but then put X and the Y over? Never mind, I figured it out.
You figured it out? Okay, Robbie, help me out here.
I figured out the ratio for
Okay, go ahead. 1 meal to $3. So when we find the unit rate, then we would just say it's 3, right?
Yeah.
So $3 per meal, basically.
Yeah.
And it's consistent if we divide all of those ratios, we would get our unit rate of 3. Now, since the unit rate is consistent, okay, so that we are getting the same unit rate, we can say that this is a proportional relationship. Okay? Now I would like to do one more example that is given vertically so that we can see what it looks like when it's vertical. Now this time we're not given a context. We're just given a little table here. And we're going to see if this table represents a proportional relationship or not. Okay. Now just a reminder, when we're calculating unit rate, we want to do our y over our x. I want to make good habits now so that later on when it matters, you'll be ready. Okay, so y over x. All right, so if I go through and I divide all of these, y over x, to find the unit rate, if it's proportional, they'll all be the same. If it's not proportional, you'll have at least one that's different. Okay, so y divided by x here is going to be 20. Y divided by x here will be 12.5. Already we can see that this is not going to be proportional. Okay, 30 divided by 3 is 10. 35 divided by 4 is going to be 8.75. Thank you. And then 40 divided by 5 will be 8. Okay, so these are different unit rate. So that means not proportional. Not proportional. All right, I'm going to give you 2 practice problems to make sure we're good on this, and then you can start the homework. Yeah, Evan.
It's Irvin, and like.
Oh, Irvin, I've been calling you Evan like all day. Evan, where are you? Is Evan not even in this class? I'm thinking of another class. Sorry, Irvin, go ahead.
Okay, so like, or like the first example, how come from a unit rate you got, oh wait, that would be like 3 over 1, bro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Basically dividing it will get it over 1, and then that the unit rate is, you just say the unit rate without the 1 underneath. All right, let's practice. Our first example is going to be feet for plants, and I wanted to do this example because it's going to make you, the answers are going to seem a little funky, and I am doing that on purpose. Okay, so we're going to be comparing the number of square feet in a room to the number of plants in that room. So this is somebody's house, and they are calculating how many plants per room. So we'll have the bedroom, the living room, the kitchen, and the patio. Okay. And just a reminder, when you have a horizontal table like this, the top is our X the bottom is our y. And we always do a unit rate of y over x. Okay. Now when I fill in the numbers here, we're gonna have 100 feet for the bedroom, square feet for the bedroom with 2 plants in it. 200 feet with 5 plants. 150 feet with 6 plants. 250 feet with 10 plants. Now it's gonna seem a little odd because you're gonna do 2 divided by 100 and get a decimal. A lot of people want to do 100 divided by 2 and have it be like a nice, pretty whole number. But when you do y over x, you will get a decimal. Okay, so that's number 1. So you're going to see if that's a proportional relationship. All right, try those 2 problems out. See if you can determine whether or not they are proportional. And while you're working, I'm just going to let you know that on the homework, you're just going to be given a few tables to find out whether or not they're proportional. But then you're also going to be given a situation with a blank table that you're going to need to fill in and then determine if it's proportional or not. And on the homework, I want it on paper and I want you to answer all the questions like they're asked. But in the answer checker, you're only going to be pretty much putting in whether or not it's proportional. But when I do a binder check, I'm going to be looking to make sure that this homework is done on paper and that you've actually completed it, not just filled in the answer check. Okay?
Is that 4.5?
Yeah, it's 4.5. 4.5 and does it bother anyone else if that's out of order? I like nice clean tables that are logical and go.
Because
in order. But I purposely did that one out of order. Yeah. right here, I would have thought that was proportional. But if you keep going, you'll see that they're not all the same. Okay, they have to all be the same to be proportional. So that first one we got not proportional, right? Okay, let's look at that second one. If you divide it and got a decimal, you probably got 0.67, right? Rounded. Or you could have gotten the fraction 2/3. And it's consistent for all of them, right? So then what we're saying is this is proportional. And this one up here was not proportional. Okay, any questions for me? Okay, I'll give you a little bit of time here to hopefully get your homework started. Sorry, I wasn't able to give you more than that.